Hi, everybody. My name is Eric Tang, and I'm the co-founder and CTO at LivePure. Thank you for being here. Today, we're going to talk about building on-chain media applications. So we'll do a little bit of a technical overview of what on-chain media means, and specifically go into how video streaming works in an on-chain environment. And then we'll do a little bit of a live demo / live coding to see what it's like to build an on-chain video application using LivePure. And then we have our head of ecosystem, Shannon, here as well, who will tell you a little bit more about opportunities to hack with LivePure and participate in the LivePure ecosystem. Cool. All right. I don't think this works. That's okay. Okay, so a little bit about me. I've been working in the tech industry for over the last decade or so. I started out building an application called Hyperpublic. In 2010, it was acquired by Groupon in 2013. I kind of saw how a fast-growing application looked like from the inside, and how people were activating like a huge audience. And then I started another company called Wildcard. Wildcard was a mobile application as the App Store was just starting to take off, and it was one of the Apple's app choice of the year in 2015. We kind of again saw how mobile application was working and how to get users to adapt your application. And then in 2016, as Ethereum really started to deploy its AlphaNet, I started working with the Ethereum Foundation on some open source projects, and then we kind of started working on video streaming in the Ethereum ecosystem, which then became LivePure. So yeah, we'll get into kind of on-chain media. So what is on-chain media? The big media has always existed. Video streaming has always existed, right? But the big foundational change for the blockchain at the intersection of blockchain and video streaming is the fact that prior to the blockchain, if we wanted to share a video, we have to first upload it into an application. And as soon as that video is uploaded into the application, it is now constrained by the context of that application, right? So I am uploading a video into YouTube or into Vimeo, and I'm sharing the application's link in order for other people to watch my video. But the video is going to be stored in the database of that application. It's the way that people interact with that video, the way that the video is monetized, all of those things will be constrained by that application. So the kind of the creator and the content rights owner of the video kind of lose control, or they have no choice but to opt in to lose control in that situation. With the blockchain, it kind of turns that paradigm in its head, right? So with the blockchain, when someone is publishing a video, you first publish that, you create a record on the blockchain, and you use decentralized content network to distribute that video, right? And now applications can be built around that, and applications will essentially be loading that data and just being kind of an interface between the content creator and the audience and the users of those applications. And that puts control back into the hands of the creator of the video. The creator should be able to define how they monetize the video, how they control access to the video, and all the different logic around how the video or how the media is consumed, right? And that's a pretty exciting feature, right? In this way, the media and the video itself becomes the platform instead of like these centralized platforms that then are controlled by all these big corporations. So So yeah, we talked about blockchain as the public ledger for the media itself. It now gives us proper content ownership and licensing that's controlled by the creator of the videos themselves, and that then creates a much better economic relationship between the user and the platform. So why are we focusing on video today? Well, video is about 80% of all the internet's traffic today. And so for blockchain technology and for dApps to really gain mass adoption, I think it's important for video streaming to be working in this environment. We'll go through some high-level technical components of on-chain video today. So there's a number of topics here. We probably won't go into details for every topic, but I'll kind of gloss over some of the different technical areas of consideration. On-chain representation of video, right? First, when we publish video on-chain, it has to be represented somehow on the blockchain. Today, most of that data is represented by NFTs, right? So think of NFTs not just as a PFP, but really as a reference pointer to a piece of data that's off-chain. And once you have that reference pointer, you can start to use smart contracts to control it and to manipulate that data. However, only a reference pointer is sometimes not enough, right? So today, NFTs really just represent like ownership of that data, right? The creator of that NFT can say, when they write the record on chain, they'll say, I'm the creator of that, I'm the owner of that data. And then if I wanted to transfer ownership, then someone can pay me for that transfer. But that kind of loses some important context for the video as a piece of media, right? For example, the provenance data. We want to know how the video has evolved over time, right? Maybe I created the video on my phone, I uploaded it, and then Shannon made some cuts to the video. Someone else did color correction, editing, right? That provenance chain is oftentimes very important. So having the blockchain to be the ledger to record that provenance data can be another really powerful thing. And once we have all that data on the blockchain, there needs to be ways that we can verify the ownership and the provenance data for the video as people are watching it, right? So we've been working on this project called the Verifiable Video Project, where Merkleized proofs are generated with the video, so that as you're streaming the video, you're also getting the proofs being streamed to you. So as you're watching every little segment of the video, you can prove, your video client or your computer can prove that it's coming from the video that you requested for, right? And no one has manipulated the data in the middle. And that UI component is very important for users to gain trust that this piece of on-chain media actually has authenticity to it, and I'm actually watching this media that was created by this owner and then edited by this person, and so on and so forth. And with that comes content distribution and data licensing, right? One important thing about video streaming is that it needs to work at scale, because oftentimes lots of people are watching the same video, right? Good example, Game of Thrones, one of the most popular TV shows. Lots of people are watching that at the same time. So whatever infrastructure is delivering that video needs to be really performant and needs to be really scalable. And that's really hard to do in a decentralized context, and that's something that Livepeer has been working on for the last 7 years. And if we combine access control to this scalable decentralized video streaming infrastructure, now we have a decentralized way to do access control. And that's quite interesting, because that allows us to use smart contracts to control who gets to watch the video, right? So for example, a really common use case here is token gating the video, right? So someone can only watch the video if they own an NFT or they belong to a member, they belong to an on-chain community. but it goes way beyond that. Access control is a pretty powerful thing, and there's people have written pretty powerful access control engines around controlling access based on geography, based on subscription, based on tipping, based on time, right? All of these things, and that's important for this infrastructure to be able to enforce. Another pretty interesting development that recently happened is this universal data licensing that's happened in the Arweave ecosystem. So this concept is saying that most data should have a license that attaches to it. However, currently on the internet, over 90% of the data do not have a license attached to it. So what that means is there's this very unclear, it's very ambiguous on how people can actually use that data, right? But if you were uploading video into YouTube, for example, you just use YouTube's license, and that oftentimes is not what you want to do as a creator. So universal data license allows the creator to pick the license that they actually want to have, and it allows that logic to be enforced by smart contracts. A simple example is splits, right? If I have published I have published a video, and if some application wants to charge for people to watch that video, they can share 10% of the profit to me, right? And all of that is kind of encoded in the license itself and can be automatically ascribed to. The next topic is about once we have scalable distribution and proper kind of license management, we can have like direct interactivity between the creator and the consumer, right? And this is one of the powerful things for blockchain is that the application starts to lose some powers to the creator and the consumer, right? So these are on-chain communities around media. We can have ultra low latency live streaming that enables real-time chat, so that for the creator to be able to stream video to their community directly, and for their community to gather around that content using the blockchain in a grassroots way and start to interact with that creator. And the other thing that I would say here is that it's really powerful because it unlocks the creator's community, which is oftentimes the most valuable thing for the creator, right? The creator now, if they built up an audience on YouTube, well, they're locked onto YouTube. When they move to a different platform, they cannot take their YouTube fans with them. In this on-chain world, because the community is revolved around the media that's on-chain, it doesn't matter which application they speak to with the creator, the creator can kind of move from application to application without having this platform risk. We talked about some of the smart contract components here, right? The last thing I would mention here is the on-chain advertising component. Oftentimes people kind of don't want to talk about advertising in this context, but advertising is actually really important. If we take away all the bad practice of today's advertising industry of data harvesting and things like that, if we just look at advertising as a way to promote media, it's a very important concept, right? That's the way for a creator to get their content out there and for other people to watch their content. It's through some form of advertising, whether it's social media or otherwise. Right? So if we move this mechanism on chain and create transparency around the way that people can promote their content, that becomes a really powerful and an important tool for this whole ecosystem. The last kind of technical topic I would just mention here is around censorship resistance and content safety and moderation, right? So these are oftentimes somewhat contradictory topics, right? So oftentimes people say, well, if you have true censorship resistance, then you lose the ability to moderate content and vice versa. But in this world, it's actually very important to have content safety and have the ability for content to be moderated, at least for the communities, so that illegal content don't get spread and harmful content don't get spread. Right? So there are a couple of areas of technical innovation that's happening right now. One is the recommendation algorithm optionality. And oftentimes when people talk about censorship for big platforms, that's what they're talking about. As a creator, I'm beholden to the recommendation algorithm of a certain platform, of Twitter or YouTube or Twitch or whatever it is. If those platforms change their algorithm even a little bit, you see businesses being wiped out, right? Just by that change of algorithm. So in this Web3 world, we're starting to see applications that encourage different recommendation algorithms to be built within the same application, so that users have a choice to pick between them, right? And that reduces the platform risk for the creator, for the content creators, because different algorithms can be, even if one algorithm changes slightly, there are other algorithms that are also kind of providing traffic to their content. Related to that is front-end optionality. We talked about this a little bit, right? Different applications can be showing the same content. We'll get into some examples of that. Protocol infrastructure being credibly neutral. This is very important, right? That this is, again, the core of censorship resistance. And because people shouldn't, like the builders of the protocol and the builders of the infrastructure should not be opinionated. However, the content safety and moderation tools can happen on the community level and on the application level, right? And that's oftentimes where things get a little murky, and especially when it comes to local legality or regulatory topics. The application builders should comply to those things, but communities that use these tools should also have their own kind of content policy. Right? So we talked a lot about abstract concepts. I want to dive into some real-world examples here. The first thing I want to share is something that happened pretty recently, called Onchain Summer Stories. So Coinbase launched a Ethereum L2 called Base in, I think, July. And as a part of that activation campaign, what they did is they created this on-chain summer concept, and every day during it was during the month of August. Every day in August, they interviewed a different builder in the Base community, and then they live streamed it, and then they had a daily NFT drop that kind of symbolizes the builder that they're featuring that day, right? It was quite interesting. So the first day, this was the kickoff between Jesse Pollack, who was the creator of Base, and Brian Armstrong, who is the CEO of Coinbase. And some interesting data here, right? They did 23 straight daily interviews with builders on the Base ecosystem. Of course, those streams were powered by LivePeer and syndicated to other social platforms like Twitter and YouTube. They had very clear call to action in all of these interviews, right? So the call to action was to go mint the daily NFT drop, and you see because they were doing this at the same time every day, you see the audience coming back on a daily basis, and this was a very core component to a successful kind of community onboarding for the Base launch, to the point that in the month of August, Base became the most profitable L2 out of all Ethereum L2, right? More profitable than Arbitrum, more profitable than Optimism, who have been around for much longer than Base, right? And I would attribute a lot of that to this like really successful campaign that built a really strong community, that got people to bridge their Ethereum to Base, go use all the Base applications, minted their NFTs. Another example is the Lens universe, right? Lens is a decentralized social protocol. They have many projects in their ecosystem, and it's pretty interesting what they're doing. So there's the social media applications, of course, but there's also tools and curation, and there are certain builders in that ecosystem just focus on algorithms, right? So here's an example of my Lens profile in LensTube, which is a YouTube-centric type of video sharing application. This is my same profile, but within a different app called Lenster, which is more of a feed style, like Twitter-like user experience. Here is my same profile featured in another application, which is called, I think, Diverse HQ, which is more of a Reddit style application where there's community they're encouraging community conversations, right? Kind of like subreddits. Here's an example of my profile inside Orb, which is a mobile app, I think a Flutter-based mobile app that has a really flexible UI, right? So this becomes really interesting because all of me as a user of Lens, I'm oftentimes hopping between these applications depending on what's my use case. But I get to interact with the same social graph that I have, right? If I want to binge on someone's video content, I go to LensTube. If I just want to see what's going on, kind of scroll through a list of a feed really fast, I go to Lenster or I go to Orb if I'm on my phone, right? And if I want to really dig into a topic and discuss with the community, well, I go to Diverse HQ, right? So if I consider myself as a creator in this context, I start to have all these different options to jump between these applications. Even if I didn't like one of those applications, that's no problem. I just use the other ones. I don't lose that much, right? Over the last year, right, Lens has built out about over 100,000 users, and they're still kind of capped. They're still capping the growth to combat kind of the spam and bot issues. There are hundreds of projects in this ecosystem. There's over 500,000 publications, right? So every post in Lens is called a publication. But the most interesting metric here is that there's already $350,000 that's been made by the creators, right? The creators have made that much revenue in this ecosystem by people collecting their posts, tipping them, right? There's all these different ways that you can do on-chain actions that support creators in the ecosystem. Cool. Another quick example, we probably all know Zora, right? Zora is an NFT marketplace focused on open edition NFTs instead of some of the more traditional kind of speculative NFT marketplaces that focus on trading the NFTs, right? And this is a really media-centric play, right? So their concept is really about NFTs should represent on-chain media, and by minting an NFT, you're just kind of contributing to that media, right? There's 3.8 million mints that happen on this platform already, and they've captured millions in revenue from minting fees. For every mint, I think Zora charges a couple dollars. And that's kind of caused them to take the next step, which is to launch their own L2, which creates a new business model for them to collect gas fees and collect more revenues that then they're recently starting to share that revenue with the creators. So they're doing this revenue split on the blockchain level, on the protocol level, which is quite interesting. It's a novel way to get around the problem of NFT marketplaces not enforcing royalties for creators. So we're starting to see these new kind of financial primitives that are happening on chain, right? So whether it's on-chain sponsorships, content promotion, which is advertising, subscription, or on-chain tipping, right? These are all kind of financialization of the content. We're even seeing content, there are people selling shares of the content, right? So all of these experiments are happening, and it's quite an exciting time right now. So So with that being said, I want to give a quick demo of a few things that we've been working on at LivePeer that helps developers to build their apps. So I will jump over to, I probably won't have time to do the coding from scratch. So I will do this. Here's a guide that we've created for kind of hackers that are here. So I will start with this starting point and to show everyone kind of where we're starting. In this application, we are building a NFT, video NFT minting app, right? So it's pretty simple. Allows me to upload upload a video, export that video into IPFS, to be able to play it back using LivePeer's streaming infrastructure, and then mint an NFT using that video. Right? So we will be starting from here. And if we look at this app, it's a pretty simple React app, right? It's just a boilerplate. I'm going to start adding some code into in here. The first thing that I'm going to add is a upload button. And it should look something like this. Now I have a way to click on to upload a video. I'm going to add an input here. And add some reference pointers up here so that the logic gets hooked up. And then make sure I'm doing the right imports at the top, the file. And then I'm going to add this on-click action so that when this guy is being clicked on, it'll actually do something. And then in here, I will do this, and then I'll add a little placeholder button down here. So here now, we should see, right, so now I click on this button, it allows me to pick a video. Say if I pick this video, I should be able to upload it later. Okay, so now I'm going to skip ahead a little bit and add some more code, but I won't go through it step by step. I would do this here, and so this is probably a more built-out application. You see there's a little more code that allows me to kind of do the upload, keep track of the progress of the upload, and play back the video. So I'll just show you guys how this works. So I'm picking this cat video. I'm uploading it into LivePeer, and it starts to, and it'll show me this progress bar. Well, Wi-Fi here is a little slow. But yeah, as it's uploading, I should be able to see it in the LivePeer developer dashboard. You see here, this video is being uploaded and processed. Here are some previous uploads that I have done. For example, if I go here, I can see the video should be playable once it gets loaded here. Yeah, live demo is always challenging with the Wi-Fi situation. See, we're still 18% over here. Yep, so now it's kind of streaming this video. I can save it to IPFS simply by clicking here, and this video will be exported, and I'll get an IPFS hashback, and from there, this IPFS hash is what I would use to kind of mint the NFT, right? So here you see, it's pretty simple for anyone to build an application that allow a user to, upload a video and play it back in their own application, and kind of attach that video on chain, represent that video on chain by minting an NFT. There's also ways for you to do access control of that video, and you can use that as a mechanism to, for example, do token gating. I'll show just one more thing here, which is more around live streaming. So this is an important feature in LivePeer as well. So here, I can go live with a click of a button, and yeah, we'll see. Yeah, here I'm live already. So I can, for example, share this link with somebody else. They should be able to watch my video, and there's it's about 1 to 2 second end-to-end latency, right? So here I should be able to, if Wi-Fi allows, it should let me play my video. And there are a couple of other important things. One is that this also allows me to multi-stream to other platforms. For example, here I'm streaming to YouTube directly, so I'm streaming within LivePeer here, and I am also streaming to YouTube. I don't know if I can even open this many tabs here, because the internet's not very fast. But let's see if that'll work. Now we're going over to YouTube Creator Studio. It's taking a long time to load. We won't wait for this, but the idea is that you can do multi-streaming. You can also record this session, so it becomes kind of video on demand files afterwards. It's quite powerful. And you can also use token gating, for example, to gate access to this content. So people have built all kinds of interesting experiences around this, and this is actually one of the core features that Base used to build their Onchain Summer Stories campaign. Cool. Let me go back to the application here. So I want to kind of pass the mic over to Shannon now, so she can tell us a little bit more about how ways to collaborate with LivePeer.
Do I need to? Oh, we're good. Oh, wow. Thanks, everyone, for sticking around. Thanks, Eric. My name is Shannon. I'm head of ecosystem. And I'm going to just quickly run through some of the other ideas to help you think about what you can build to bring on-chain video to on-chain apps. So Eric's given a really amazing overview of what's available today. A lot of the products that are in the LivePeer ecosystem and that the core team works on are still kind of in development and areas for really open innovation and community contribution. This is kind of summarizing the workflow for bringing video on chain. Eric's already gone over, a lot of these kind of features and primitives for when we think about what on-chain video means: monetization, attribution, provenance, distribution, access control, processing and transformation, storage. I mean, these are all areas that we're just so early in this space around Web3 video applications. I think these are all parts of a fully decentralized stack for a video application that are still, we just love to see lots of experimentation around that workflow. So Eric already talked about the verifiable video project. Why are we pursuing that as an open, public R&D project that our engineering team is running? It's because, verifiable video, verifiable content authenticity is really important, both to solve challenges around viewership and making sure that when people watch video, they're not getting deepfaked. Verifiability is also important to enable new economic models for creator monetization through those provenance guarantees. So this is a QR code to the Notion repo that has all of the really deep work that the engineering team led by Eric has been working on to create kind of alpha tools for thinking about how you can work with video verifiability, whether that's creator-assigned video and attestation models, kind of the provenance chains and hashing that Eric referred to. I don't know, Eric, if you want to give a little bit of an update on where that project is and what for you would be priority areas that people can dive into, both to just help the tools advance and to start testing the tools.
I think so. Where we are is that we have like an end-to-end workflow now where somebody can upload a video, create an attestation for the video, and then for that attestation to be seen as the viewer is watching the video, right? So an example would be, I create the video on Chain, I attest that I am the creator of the video, or Shannon is the editor of the video, and all of that information is then passed to the user when they're watching this on-chain video. They can see in the corner of the video player that they click on a little icon, it'll show some provenance information. The next step, of course, is to make this more robust in like the other ways that people can use it for, right? So something that we're exploring a lot is this idea of content remixing. So we all know that video content gets remixed a lot, especially in today's social media context. But those remixing don't really have economics attached to it, right? So if I edited someone's video and my video became really popular, well, the source as my video oftentimes don't have any attribution. And that's a big problem right now because there's actually a lot of people, they would just take video from one platform to another and steal the content to create a really popular account on another platform that then they get to make money and make ad revenue off of, right? So that's a big problem that needs to be solved, and we think the blockchain can create a tool that helps people do that. It doesn't even need to be its own application, right? It can be a creator-centric kind of content management tool that just allows a creator to back up all of their video from YouTube, from Twitch, from Twitter, from all these platforms to a blockchain-centric world where they can actually show the provenance. That will be the first step. And as soon as that becomes possible, there's video fingerprinting or all these new all these techniques that can help even identify those bad actors and in an automated way, right? So that will be an example, but there's also other ways of things like monetization.
I don't know if I'll break this if I click this link, but this actually goes to the verifiable video page just to give you a flavor. If this Eric is going to load, maybe like, oh my gosh, it might work. You can see. Yeah, some of the technical, the font is not very big here, but I mean, there's a huge ocean of technical topics to kind of dive into when you think about, verifiability and content authenticity around video. One of them, just to like call out, because there's someone in the room working on this, is delegated signing. When you think about trying to also solve the problem of UX hurdles for onboarding creators, we really need to kind of smooth the journey to make it as minimally cumbersome as possible for people to be able to take the steps to attest to that video. So UCAN is a really interesting solution that's trying to abstract away for front-end developers and designers models that, when someone joins your app, they're kind of trustlessly giving you permission to do signing on your behalf as a creator, which is pretty cool. Eric, any other technical topics you want to call out?
No, I think,
I think we got all of it.
Yeah.
How do we get back? Thank you. Cool. Next topic is decentralized broadcasting. So we didn't get into a lot of the network architecture for live peer, but the three kind of primary actors on the live peer network as defined by the protocol and in the white paper are delegators, transcoders, and broadcasters. And basically, orchestrators are the most important actor on the network who actually provide that video transcoding by operating a node on the live peer network. Delegators are who kind of empower folks to run orchestrator nodes. If you don't want to run an orchestrator node, but you want to participate in the network, you can delegate your live peer token to an orchestrator. And then, so that supply of video transcoding provided by orchestrators is actually demanded by broadcasters on the network. And because it's not trivial to actually set up a reliable supply of transcoding around the world, that took a few years. Over the last couple of years, Eric and the core team have been working on gateways to provide sources of demand for that transcoding. The live peer API, which is kind of a hosted broadcasting node on the live peer network today, is, Eric, I think it's fair to say pretty much the only broadcasting node at scale with real usage coming through it on the network today. So there's a huge opportunity for a much larger global network of broadcasters on the live peer network. And so, in addition to the API, which you can use to, really easily, do live stream or video on demand, you can actually run your own broadcasting node. But where, that product isn't as developed as the API, and we'd really love the community to keep iterating with us on that. We actually have a very active orchestrator community that is really passionate about helping us advance that product. We call it Catalyst. I think it's also called Live Peer in a Box. I don't know, Eric, do you want to say a little bit about what that is, where it is?
Yeah. So it's just right now it's open source. Anyone can dig in and start and boot it up and start streaming video into it. I think the interesting angle here is that you can actually use this open source software to build your own broadcasting service or your own live streaming application that uses a decentralized ecosystem of infrastructure providers, and oftentimes it's much more affordable than using an existing centralized video streaming infrastructure provider like Amazon. So just from a pricing perspective, it makes a huge difference. But also from a demand perspective, I think there's now a lot more. There's a lot of kind of untapped demand for video streaming in the Web3 ecosystem in general. So that's also another area that I think people can explore. Yeah.
And there's some pretty cool implications to think about when it comes to the relationship between these core actors on the network, the broadcasters and the orchestrators, and in terms of attesting to performance. So you think about, an orchestrator could, in theory, create conditions around which video content it actually is willing to transcode. So, that's potentially, one solution to look at for moderation challenges. Similarly, broadcasters can potentially attest to or, get attestations for the quality of transcoding happening on the network as well, which again, isn't really possible in like a traditional cloud server environment. Anything you want to say on that? Cool. So yeah, what other Web3 on-chain video innovation ideas are there? It's really like an infinite landscape, of opportunity and like frontiers for innovation. I think we're just scratching the surface on all of these. The first area is just bundling Web3 services with a video-specific lens, thinking about creator onboarding. As we mentioned, continuing to explore on-chain native functionality. We've talked a lot about that already, and really expanding live peer network capabilities as well. I just mentioned like thinking about attestation around performance of work on the network. Live peer is a network of GPUs where just kind of at the beginning of thinking about AI-based video computation or AI-based processing on the network. There's a lot kind of yet to be discovered on the LivePeer network that we're excited for the community to contribute to. And you can get money to do that. We have a very generous LivePeer grants program that ranges from micro grants of $2,000 if you have a really tightly scoped integration with LivePeer that you want to build. We have larger grants for video disruptors who are really kind of pushing the boundaries and demonstrating what's uniquely possible in Web3 with video that's not possible outside Web2. We really love to back those most innovative use cases for on-chain video. We also have a category of grants for open network grants that are really more exploratory around network infrastructure. We don't necessarily have a cap on that because we really like to see what the community can come up with. And then we also love to do lots of partner collaborations. That's a favorite part of my job, is working with other projects in the Web3 ecosystem, whether that's to do joint hackathons or joint bounties, joint events. LivePeer also sponsors other community initiatives that help do thought leadership and raise awareness and spark conversation around a lot of these topics. We're a supporter of Broadcast, which is a really cool collective of Web3 individuals and projects who are asking the question, what does the future of on-chain media look like? It's a very creator-focused community. There's a project that spun out of that called Vessel, which is looking at kind of the concept of luxury media in Web3. We launched it in New York with Seed Club and a few others. We just did a broadcast summit yesterday here at DappCon. Zora participated in that. Lots of really cool folks at the kind of forefront of on-chain media and Web3. If you're into that and representing a project, see Superfluid here, let's chat. Come chat with me afterwards. And yeah, join the LivePeer community. We're starting the LivePeer Video Innovators community as kind of an alternative. I don't know if you've heard of the video dev channel that Mux runs in Web2. It's got like tens of thousands of like traditional Web2 video developers. We're really growing the video innovator community that's looking at what's possible with video in Web3. We have an exclusive Telegram group. Please join it there. And then these are the other places to find us. All the other ways we know and love: Discord, Twitter, website. Thank you so much. Thanks for everyone who's going to watch this on a recording later also. Thanks. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Oh wait, did you want to show you can for a minute? You sure?
Just say you can.
Okay. Any questions? Sorry. Yeah. I was gonna clue up, but I forgot I was supposed to take questions.
Hello. Hey, hi. I have a quick question regarding IPFS. You demonstrated something that you can push to IPFS. Does it mean that the user needs to have their own IPFS gateway, or subscription to whatever Pinata or something else? Or is it within the software?
Yeah, with LivePeer, it comes with the IPFS integration. So if you already have an IPFS account, either Pinata, Web3 storage, or whatever it is, it's compatible. You can just use that. You can import video from IPFS into LivePeer so that you can leverage LivePeer's transcoding and scalable streaming to deliver to a global audience. But if you want to upload into LivePeer that then export into IPFS, you can do that as well. And when you're exporting to IPFS, you don't need to have a separate account.
Okay, cool, thanks. And the second question is, you mentioned that you can have some read access control over the files, but if they are on IPFS, then it's on IPFS. So I don't understand how we can have both. So.
Yeah, so for that to work, people usually encrypt the video first.
Okay.
So that's stored on IPFS, encrypted, and then imported into LivePeer in encrypted format. And there's a way to share the encryption key to only LivePeer to then decrypt it.
Okay, super, makes sense. Thanks.
I can help you with encryption in IPFS. Okay.
Cool. I'm curious, like, what project, I know Superfluid, what other projects are folks representing, or like, what's your interest in this topic?
Hey, hi again. So I work at Luxo. We build stuff for creator economy, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, I think Louis was in touch with you, and yeah, just came by to see how we could collaborate. So yeah.
Very cool. Love Luxo. Awesome. Okay.
Cool.
There's no other questions. Thank you for coming. We'll wrap it up. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks everyone.